And welcome back to Subculture on CentralCoastRadio.com. Well, there is a powerful new play coming to Melbourne called Love With No Remorse. And this looks absolutely spectacular. I've been talking to one of the producers of this play, and I cannot wait to be able to go along and check it out. But we thought today we would actually get one of the actors from this play on the phone to talk a little bit about it. Welcome to the program, Danny Arif.
Hello, thank you for having me.
No problem. Now, Danny, tell us a little bit about Love With No Remorse. What can people expect from this production?
So, Love With No Remorse is really a play about finding your voice. It's about courage, it's about bravery, it's about family and all its complexity. It's the journey of loving someone, those unexpected turns that you have in life and in love, and how we deal with them, I think.
It's also got a theme of domestic violence as well that comes through in this production. What was your first thoughts when you sat down to read the script for this?
Well, I mean, it's definitely a very full-on story, but it's a really important story because these are stories that happen all the time, right? You know, we constantly read about them in the newspaper and we hear about them, and these are important stories to tell, I think. So that was one of the things that attracted me to the piece. It's a really important story to tell, and I'm very proud to be part of it.
Yeah, talking about that, like, I love the way that the theatre landscape has changed in Australia. I remember going back now, longer than I care to think of because I was a teenager at the time, but it must have been about 30 years ago. I was in a production of Black Rock, and I remember that there was outcry that someone had actually dared to put on a theatre play that touched on a topic like rape in Australia. And I just love the fact that now that we have a landscape where important stories like these can be told without that kind of outcry. What does it mean for you to be part of a production like this?
It means everything. It's a phenomenal opportunity. I'm super proud to work with the Thespian Theatre Company because really that's why Celine set up this company, is really to give a voice to unheard communities, unheard people. So the theatre company, has a focus on Middle Eastern stories, but not only that community, other communities that we don't always hear of or perhaps don't get the chance. And for me personally, as an actor, I'm from London originally, but live here now. But my father is Turkish, and I never really get the opportunity, or haven't so far had that opportunity to play closer to that aspect of my heritage. So it's a really great opportunity for me to do that and sit in this world. And this theatre company is all about authenticity, inclusivity, that kind of storytelling. So just an amazing opportunity. And the playwright Tuka is super passionate, has written this wonderful story, a story that just needs to be told. So I'm super proud to be one of the people getting to tell it.
And talking about your role in the production, tell us a little bit about your character.
Absolutely. So my character's name is Nabil. He is the father of one of the lead characters. He's a very, very proud man. He has worked hard all of his life, came to Australia when he was young, fleeing from Lebanon, and worked super hard, really successful business, and he's really, really proud of his son, and that love that he shares and that he has for his family really comes through, and it's really, really important. And I love being able to tell that story of a close-knit family.
Like you said as well, this role taps into your culture, into your background. Has that seen you prepare for this role differently than you would normally?
I think so. I mean, different culture, different accents, slightly different world, a different journey that this character has gone on from characters I normally play, which normally draw on my sort of Cockney London heritage, so quite different. But it's been really fun to delve into that world and then the challenges that brings up. So definitely I have very much enjoyed it. Yeah.
So when it comes to acting, when you prepare for a role, what are some of the things do you do? Do you go out and try and talk to people that you feel might be similar to that character? Do you sit down with the writer and try and get as much background information on the character as possible? What's your method?
Yeah, I mean, definitely talk to the writer. Spend lots of time with the writer. Making sure that we bring the right tone and texture to the story, and the way that they want it, and just sort of getting underneath the words with the writer is obviously really, really important. And then definitely being in touch with the community. And so, research, sort of socio-political research, talking to people is really, really important. I have spoken to people, here in the community about the experience of being, from the Middle Eastern communities here in Australia. So definitely lots of speaking to people and drawing the tone and experiences from them, so that I can put into that as well. And then also speaking to my own father about his experience, moving from Turkish Cyprus, where my father is from, fleeing the war there, and moving to England, and about his experiences, as a child growing up in London, some of the issues that he faced, the problems that he faced, how he dealt with them, and how he achieved eventual success. Quite similar to the character that I'm playing, so lots to draw on from that.
Definitely. And you mentioned before the Thespian Theatre Company has got a very, very special place in the Melbourne theatre landscape. Tell us a little bit about how you became involved with the company, and also how you became involved with Love With No Remorse.
I've been looking for a while, as I mentioned before, to lean on, my Middle Eastern heritage. It's not something that I've been able to do yet. So I went to acting school in Sydney. A lot of the roles that I did were drawing on my English heritage. So I was really, really looking for that. And then I found this theatre company, and it sort of came together. I think I'm not sure if I manifested it, but I was sort of looking into them, and then lo and behold, the opportunity for this play came about. So I reached out to them, and then we met. Me and Celine discussed potential, the role, etc. And sort of one thing sort of went into it. I think when I found out more about this theatre company and the work that Celine does, the founder, it just seemed like a really natural fit. I think, from my research, this is perhaps one of the only Middle Eastern theatre companies in Australia, even in the Southern Hemisphere. So, of course, I absolutely wanted to get behind that with everything I had. So, yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit as well about the amazing cast that you've got around you with Love With No Remorse?
Yeah, so we've got lots of wonderful actors. We've got a sort of a Middle Eastern core base, but then we've got a variety of different actors from different backgrounds, quite a diverse cast, with lots of different experiences. People who've got a bit more experience in theatre, people who've got a bit more experience in screen, and a couple of young up and coming actors who will be on stage for the first time. It will be amazing to have them on stage. And I think having some younger actors in the theatre companies is really important to us all, because we want to show them as well that you can be anything you want, and I think that's really important to inspire young people. And so we've got that connection in the theatre company as well.
Definitely. And you've got a very, very talented and experienced director. For all the listeners out there, the director of this production is James Hung, who of course has worked on amazing shows like Young Rock, the show that looks at The Rock's life when he was growing up, Joe versus Carol. He also runs the Hollywood Actor Lab. What has that been like for you, Danny, working with such an experienced director?
Whenever you get the opportunity to work with a director like James, it's just extraordinary, and you jump on the chance to do that as an actor. So James has shared so much of his wisdom with us. He's brought some wonderful techniques, which I'd not previously had experience with. I think he's really helped actors to just break that shell and really, really get underneath what we're doing and bring our own authenticity and the authenticity of the piece. So it's been really extraordinary to work with James. Total privilege.
Awesome. Now, for all of our listeners out there, if you want to go along and check out Love With No Remorse, it's on from August the 3rd to the 13th at the Meat Market here in Melbourne. So we definitely recommend that you go and check that out. And, of course, we will put all of the ticket information up on our website as well. So if you want to grab tickets, there will be a link there. Danny, what would you like to say to anybody who's thinking about heading along to check out Love With No Remorse?
Do not hesitate. You need to come and see this play.
Definitely. And again, for everybody out there, Love With No Remorse is on from August the 3rd to the 13th. It's on at the Melbourne Meat Market Stables, and all of the ticket information is there on our website. Danny, thank you so much for taking the time to chat to us today. It's been an absolute honour having you on the show, and I can't wait to head along and check it out on opening night.
Can't wait to see you. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure talking to you.